And you want to be safe against counter attacks, of course. Just throw down one cannon and you're fine. Yeah, let's step to the last replay I prepared for you. Yeah, now we are on Kula's Ravine. So this map is not in the ladder pool anymore, but it just points something out, because I want to show you how strong blink stalkers can be. Blink stalkers work very well on Zelnaga caverns as well, but I think this replay shows how strong strategy, and especially foregating, is even on the highest levels, because this is EG Hydra, and here is Liquid Nazgul, the legend, I would call him. But of course he's retired for years, he's not playing seriously, and still he won this series against Hydra, only playing the same strategy, Blink Stalkers. So I think Hydra, I talked with Whitera today about these games against Nazgul, and Whitera said, yeah, probably Hydra should have been a little bit more passive, so he could have won the series, at least 2-1, but of course it's hard to hold off. Yeah, even on the highest levels, this strategy is very valid and you can beat players like Hydra. Nazgul is throwing down his pylon at 9. Let's have a look at the different build order. Again, I want to repeat, when you want to throw or want to pull off standard 4-gate, you build a 9 pylon, a 12 gateway, scout with your pylon probe, and check out if your opponent is 6, 7, 8, 9 pooling you. And if he does, get your wall in, get a tight wall in, chrono boost your first zealot, and when you finally need to protect one building or whatsoever, then pull off all your probes and fight with all the probes. Not only 3 probes, not only 5 probes, all of them. You want to kill off these circlings and you want to surround them. When it takes some more time, you can pull like 8-9 probes back again to mining. But for the big clash of the first wave of Zerglings against probes and 1 or 2 zealots, you need to have at best all probes fighting. Again, back to the build order: 9 pylon, 12 gateway, 14 assimilator, maybe 15, depends, it's not that important, a 16 pylon, and something around 18 cybernetics core, so when you got the minerals and the gate finishes as fast as possible afterwards. Then throw down a 3rd pylon, produce probes all the time, use 2 chrono boosts on your probes, and 1 chrono boost at the first zealot if you need it, if your scout probe sees, okay, there's some aggression incoming, otherwise just save it. And then, after you got 3 pylons, chrono boost warp the warp tech out of the cybernetics core as fast as possible. So you want to have your 4 warp gates up as fast as possible in this build order. And afterwards, you only got 1 assimilator, you're absolutely fine, you can attack your opponent with some proxy pylons. But in this case, Nazgul plays a little bit different. And as you can see, he's throwing down a 13 gate. Yeah, he has superior micromanagement. It's a little bit better. And of course, when you are in the defensive position, you can do a lot more with good micromanagement as when you're with some Zerglings aggressive. You know, Zerglings can just attack or not attack, but you can't micro that much. Let's just call it that way. And yeah, as a very good player, you can hold 6 pools off with only probes, no problem. And as you can see, he's throwing down his cybernetics core at 18 as well. So for now it's everything the same except the 13 gate. And afterwards, yeah, 3rd pylon at 21 in this case, not that important, and he gets another assimilator. This is something you normally do not do. They're the first Zerglings because he's so mean, he skipped the first Zealot. Nazgul did not build the first Zealot. So when you're a Zerg player, other way around, this is a build order. You can recognize this Blinkstalker build order by seeing that your opponent is not building the first Zealot. I think this is very sloppy because the first Zealot is always a good thing to have, but okay. And looks like Nazgul gets some damage. But he makes this very well. It's another Stalker there. And his mining time is a little bit lost. So this is a situation that commonly happens on the highest levels. That after you build your first buildings, there is some aggression going on. You lost some units, you lost some mining time maybe, you lost 1 or 2 harvesters maybe. So your build order isn't that marked in stone as you want to have it, you know. So probably he would have thrown down his I'm sorry, I always forget the name, Twilight Council, a little bit faster. But in this case, he is building a second gateway at 31, maybe a little bit faster when you have a healthy economy, not getting 6 pulled or something like that. And then he is throwing down an Twilight Council at 33, and he's doing some aggression in the front. So here's a note: when you scout your opponent with your first probe, and you see that your opponent has no extractor up, but he's fast expanding, that means that he can't get metabolic boost so fast. And without metabolic boost, Zerglings are slower than Stalkers. We can check that. To be honest, I never checked it. So they have a movement speed of 2.95, while Stalkers do have 2.95. Okay, they're both at the same speed, but this is enough to out-micro the Zerglings, not get surrounded. This is the important thing, because when the opponent has Zergling speed, he just surrounds the units and kills them off. But when you move out with 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker or something like that, he has no metabolic boost so far. You can kill off some drones, or kill like 6 Zerglings. We saw that in the show match Wytra against Dimaga. He killed 9 Zerglings with 2 Stalkers and 1 Zealot, and he lost nothing. And this is something where Dimaga could have built 4.5 drones. This is really huge. So when you can do that, this is very advanced. You know, when you just start out playing, do not do it at all. But when you get tired of forgating all the time and winning against Zerg, you can start doing things like that. Scout, no gas, okay, no metabolic boost, I can do some harassment early on. There's a 3rd gateway and the 4th gateway, so this will be, of course, a 4-gate as well, but with a fast Twilight Council and a chrono boosted blink upgrade. While Hydra is getting 27 harvesters and he is moving out. Let's have a look what Hydra knows. He knows nothing about the Twilight Council. But I think this is the 3rd map they played. So Hydra maybe knows that his opponent probably is 4 gates Blinkstalker him. And he wants to pick up some Stalkers there, as you can see. Very smart by Hydra. But of course the micro is very smart. Maybe the attack is not that smart at all. I mentioned that. Killing off one of the gateways, but now he has some problems. But he can surround the Stalkers. But I guess the timing was wrong. Hydra wanted to have the blink be finished when he attacks. In this case, look at the nice micro of the Blinkstalkers. Just microing back the damaged Stalkers. So he's not losing them. This is so incredibly strong. So again, this is very advanced, not easy to pull off. Let's have a look at the micromanagement. The APMs, the actions per minute, are at around 140 for Nazgul. Ah, shoot, I forgot to show the APM against Hale. When I won against Hale last map, you know, he was 7 pooling me. I had an average APM of 70. This is so low, and every player can do a 4-gate from the start. You don't need that much APM. Especially for Protoss, you don't need the highest APM in the world. Yeah, and he's moving on with Blink Stalkers, and we want to look at the micro action he's pulling off. So, funky stuff. Because of the pylon, or I think now because of the Stalker and the Zanaga Tower, he can see a small gap there at the high ground and can blink up here and can arrest the mineral line. But Hydra, very smart, is killing off the rocks in the background. So he can move to the high ground, but still Blink Stalkers are so strong. Especially against Ling Roach. Because you want to, the Zerg of course wants to have Hydralisks against Blink Stalkers. They're the natural counter of every unit the Protoss can build out of gateways, I would call it. Well, except of course High Templar, but still High Templar die pretty fast against Hydralisks. But well, let's say the natural counter against Zealots, Sentries and Stalker. But they are tier 2 units, and when your opponent is rushing for tier 2 units, he will have a hard time to get enough forces to hold off your 4-gate push. So the Ling Roach combination is the best I think the Zerg can do, and he needs to surround you. Very smart thing that Nazgul can prevent mining time here. Yeah, and Hydra tries to counterattack. This is it. But very nice micromanagement. Maybe you're interested in doing this. So again, this is very advanced. Want to mention it all the time. The standard 4-gate I talked about in the first replay is the thing you want to do when you do your first games against the Zerg player. And against the very early pool, very early aggression, be aware of your building placement. And be aware of your first zealot, chrono boost your first zealot. Do not waste probes. Attack with all probes or with none. And this is it, I guess. So this is the advanced style. You can play some Blink Stalker. So the second gate was added after the Summoning Score finished. Then Twilight Council, Fast Blink, 2 additional gateways. And yeah, some Blink fun. Yeah, this is it. I guess now you can beat 80% of the Zergs in the ladder until you step up to the Diamond League. And then we need to talk a little bit more about this matchup. But for now you're fine. And in the next episode we can talk about Protoss versus Protoss. Yeah, and afterwards we will talk about different strategies. So let's see what happens. I think I will talk a little bit about Phoenix play or something like that. I don't know, but for the first minutes I think that's enough. Okay, so I stopped the recording now. I hope you enjoyed. But when you're watching live, I will be in the channel now, and if you have some questions, I'm of course there. #Forsti in the QuakeNet, and yeah, you can ask questions all day long. I'm maybe not at the computer, of course, but maybe you can catch me. My name is Henning K, aka Forsti, in this channel. And yeah, have a good time, have some fun, and see you next Monday, maybe next Thursday. Every Monday, how to play Protoss 20 CET, and every Thursday we see how to play Zerg 20 CET. Okay, see you next time.